Hey, it's Mike Dance of Brookside Consulting. My goal is to help you reduce complexity and save money, and at the same time provide the best possible customer and employee experience for business communications. So Brookside Consulting specializes in cloud-based solutions for unified communications, like your phone system in the cloud, your contact center in the cloud, once again, video meetings, once again, everything's in the cloud, SD WAN to make it all work and have access to the cloud, and fiber internet, the other piece, the leg that can get you there, and just overall telecom consulting, figuring out basically what makes sense for your business. So Brookside Consulting is an Austin-based company with a long history of aligning clients with the right providers and carriers. Decades of experience with phone systems, video conferencing, contact centers, and the integration and connectivity that bring it all together. We design and implement the right cloud-based solution to meet your specific needs and budget. And that includes unified communications as a service, like I said, and that's your mobility and the ability to move and work around anywhere, screen sharing, video, things of that nature, and both basic phone features. Contact center, which allows your clients to be able to, customers to be able to get a hold of you through your website, through email, through social media, SMS, all those ways are now open with omni-channel contact center. Video conferencing, so you've got live streaming and webinars, and, kinds of conference rooms all connected in meetings and screen sharing. And then of course, the software-defined network, which makes sure that we are always up and running, so you're always on internet. So what we can help here, if we can be a single point of contact from solution design to demos to contracts and implementation, and get multiple quotes from multiple vendors and help you make an intelligent decision. So we've done this for a lot of people, and you can see here's a list of a bunch of these clients. Some are new, some have been around forever. From Hayes County, the last 15 years, to Martin Crumpton, which recently happened, and Citizens, and some of these others. The new stadium for the soccer team in Austin, as well as several fire departments, schools. Forehands, Great Hills Country Club's new clubhouse. Several of these customers are all really good people that can tell you that we really help them make a good decision and move in the right. So our core competency, the core competency is basically defining advantage that distinguishes an enterprise from its competitors. And our core competency is centered around saving you money is the first thing. We take a look at what you're spending and what you need and try to figure out what that delta is. And in many cases, we try to see if we can accomplish it through some savings and moving things around to get new technology and have it have almost zero impact on you financially. The right phones, that includes the right phone solution. So whether it's replacing your legacy system or taking a look at what you've got from a cloud provider and coming up with something better and making sure it all integrates with Microsoft Teams, Salesforce, G Suite, whatever you've got out there, that you need to make sure it all connects, and we can take care of making sure all that happens in a multi-vendor environment. The right contact center solution. Omnichannel is very strong right now, adding email, web chat, SMS, and social media. So in essence, millennializing your contact center. So you've got call recording with speech analytics, AI, and even screen capture. So you know everything going on, and you have analytics on every customer and employee interaction. Imagine that. Okay, and then it all works great as long as you have the right connectivity solution. So we help you with that as well. So we deal with all the carriers, and we find the best internet access deal based upon your installation address. We either go with multiple carriers, or we back it up with automatic failover to things like 5G, which just now become something that has really been helpful in the backup situation for internet. We also take a look at things like this. The average employee logs onto 3 different collaboration tools with multiple login and passwords. I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of overlap in this space, and so at the end of the day, the question is, what's the best cloud provider to meet your needs and budget? Okay, so I mean, because look, all these companies all have products, and some are better than others in certain areas, just depending on what your needs are. And that's what we do. We learn your needs, and we try to put you together with the right solution providers. Because like at the end of the day, you've got the first step is always going to be the phones, right? So this is basically what you replace the phone system. These are the top providers from RingCentral and Zoom to Dialpad, NextTV, all these guys, and 8x8. They're all really good companies that have cloud-based solutions, subscription-based, that have a per-user cost. When you start talking about the contact center, these guys don't have the phones. They have the contact center. It's all done with soft phones, and you can call around the world, and inbound calls are handled, as well as just like email, chat. Everything's handled all into. It's very cool how it works with speech analytics. So once again, there's 8x8 in the middle. When you take UCaaS and CCaaS, really the only company that has both is going to be 8x8. Others will say they have it, but I mean, at the end of the day, here's what you want to also look at, these Gartner Magic Quadrants. I mean, they're on our website at brooksideus.com, but it really gives you a lot of good, useful information about, what's going on with UCaaS, what's going on with CCaaS. There's the latest, reports. It's going to have all the good, the bad, and the ugly on all of them, and same with contact centers. You start talking about meeting solutions. solutions, which is your video companies you see there from, Zoom and Microsoft and Cisco to, SD WAN, and the WAN edge infrastructure. When you start looking at Palo Alto Networks versus VMware and Fortinet, they're all, at Silver Peak, they're all there in the right quadrant. There's also information on the website, from these studies, the top providers for 2021, and top video providers. We work with all these companies. So when we find something, or if when take some of your existing and sometimes consolidate, whatever it takes to make things good. Because some people are already used to using Zoom. Maybe we just add voice to Zoom. I don't know. Microsoft Teams. A lot of people want to integrate Microsoft Teams to where it can use voice and have access to some really cool phone features that don't come with Microsoft Teams, but can. You've got 8x8 work. With these apps, were really much easier to use than anything I've seen, with, having your business SMS and your faxes and everything all right there in the dashboard. Google Meet is another one that people are using quite a bit. These are very efficient with bandwidth, seem to work really well. Same with My Team meetings. That's the new one. They've partnered with, the guys at Amazon Chime. And so that's a really neat solution that I'm on all the time. I work a lot with Mitel. Business software integration, integration to everything from Salesforce and Zoho to, NetSuite, HubSpot, Zendesk. I've worked with all these, but one time or another. Everybody's got something different for some reason in that space. But the one common denominator that's really come up quite a bit lately has clearly been Microsoft Teams. So, what we're talking about today is getting rid of your legacy phone system hardware and lines and moving all your voice to Microsoft Teams and using it as a phone system, but not using the Microsoft service, using an 8x8 or a Mitel, or there's multiple vendors that have integration to be able to allow you to literally use Microsoft Teams as a software client on their phone solution. So, it allows the callers to make and receive calls, double click on contacts, and just have it automatically. They're already using it internally. This just would allow them to be able to use it, as a single device on a single solution app that works on any device, allows them to make and receive phone calls. Now, it's only going to work once again if the internet's up. So always on connectivity to the cloud is very important, because everything is in the cloud or headed that way. So internet connectivity is no longer a luxury. It's essential for today's cloud-based solution. So you really gotta really make sure things are up and running. So how does it work? Well, using SD WAN technology, basically you look at the internet working in this situation. They've got a fiber connection. Something happens, the fiber gets cut and goes down. Basically what's going to happen is it's going to, in most cases, fail over to 5G wireless. That's going to allow them to get up to 100 meg by 100 meg connection to be able to continue to operate as a business. Other options include, adding another fiber connection or coax. And I love ordering all those circuits because I take care of it. You don't have to, and it doesn't cost you anything for me to do that. Anyway, the goal is to provide the highest level of business continuity for the best possible customer employee experience, like I said before. Okay, so what happens is we drop in one of these VeloCloud boxes. You see it's got multiple ports on the back. So you just plug in different carriers, whether it be coax or fiber or, the 5G card or whatever. And then boom, next thing you know, if anything happens, you just never go down. They basically automatic failover between them. So whether it's fiber, coax, or wireless, you're always up and running with a VeloCloud box. Works really well. So at the end of the day, all your people are happy. How about that? So we also, like I said, if you needed multiple carriers, we can get pricing based on the address for fiber, coax, or wireless. Wireless doesn't really care about the address, but it does work better in some areas. And 5G and 4G. Some people maybe only need 4G. So whatever it takes to figure out how to get the most reliable technology is what we're all about. And actually, where we start is taking a look at the current monthly cost of what you have and what you're spending, and things like the internet access today. How fast is it? Because a lot of times I can either double your speed or cut your bill in half. That's the two things I've been able to do rather frequently, and for most people. But legacy phone system, or if you've got a cloud-based provider like a RingCentral, something like that, where you may be paying 40 or 50 bucks a user a month, we can certainly cut those bills in half, in most cases. But how much you spend on security and IT resources, how much you're spending on web chat. If you got a third-party web chat out there where everybody's communicating with your sales or your customer service through your website, you're paying per click. These are all the kind of things that add up and that we address with a new solution. So you take your monthly cost divided by the number of users, you come up with your cost per user. And that's really where we start. And then from there, we figure out what your needs are and can do an RFP and find out from multiple vendors, what it is, getting multiple quotes that we use, and we're the ones that do the apples to apples comparison, things of that nature. So to help people make a really good, knowledgeable decision on this stuff, I put a lot of effort into my website, right? And, I've got decades of experience with this. So, I help you with, learn each one of these things. We don't just work with one provider, we work with all of them. You see, these are a lot of providers that we work with. And here's where you can click and learn on different things. This is a very good section for that part, just for learning more about the different technology. There's an actual blog. These are just, this is all going to have its own tab. There's a blog tab up here, but I've got it on the main page, so you can learn the latest on VeloCloud and VMware is there, so up here you got voice, video, contact center, Microsoft Teams, Gartner Magic Quadrants, government education and nonprofits. I mean, these all pop up, and you have information about each, that helps you learn. Looking at, once again, the Magic Quadrants, there's different information on here, and actual the phones that are used, business software integration, some people who connect to. There's some information on 8-Bait, how it works with WhatsApp. If you want to see, most of these are YouTube videos, actually. Then there's actual videos in the site, about Mitel, information on all these companies, and Zoom, and even Nextiva. These are all companies that I've worked with. There's videos on these websites that kind of go through their apps and how it works, how they integrate with various companies. It's interesting, and you learn from it. Like I said, here there's video conferencing, the same thing applies, as well as contact center. These are, definitely set up to help you learn before you make a decision. And in the middle of each one, you've got the magic, once again, one click to the Magic Quadrant. So you're on video, you see everything that's available there. We work with everybody pretty much, but these are just some of the ones that I've worked with and have some really good knowledge and background with. And once again, here's more Gartner stuff. And like I said, videos just will pop up left and right. I'm having bandwidth issues in my neighborhood right now. So that's making this a little more challenging than it needs to be, but you get the point, and the Microsoft Teams one, that's really a good one to look at too, because everything's going on, it centers around Microsoft and whatever they're up to in the business communications community and world. Whatever they're doing, everybody's watching. So integration to Teams is a big deal. A lot of people have everything separate. They have the external calls are done with their desk phones, internal calls. We bring it all together into one, one app. They have Teams. You can do everything within the Teams app. So, it works really well. Providers that have direct routing to Teams, 8x8 Voice for Teams has got a really slick solution where they've got up to 47 countries you can call for free. All that, and once again, the user's just using Teams. And there's contact center stuff here, 8x8 Contact Center for Microsoft Teams. So, and then of course Mitel, how it works with Teams. And Call to Teams allows you to be able to integrate any phone system, whether it be cloud-based or not, in with Microsoft Teams as well. So this is pretty interesting how the website can work out. And of course, and then again, the last part, last but not least, is the connectivity in SD WAN and how we have an always-on internet connection so that all this stuff works properly. There's nothing worse than having slow internet, trust me. So if you're tired of unreliable internet connectivity, I need one of these SD WAN boxes. So whenever it kind of slows down up here and the fiber's not getting it done, I have the ability to overflow or fail over to a faster network. So lots of good information in here on different companies, articles, NHC, the managed service provider that does one of the largest VeloCloud managed services companies in the country. These are the fiber connectivity people we can get fiber from. You see that all the major carriers are represented there, as well as SD-WAN hardware. So we pretty much got everything covered as it relates to helping you. And then as far as social media, we're on YouTube. We have a really nice YouTube channel. These are all on the website. You can get to them. There's Twitter, we have LinkedIn, once again, get good information. And then last but not least, Brookside Consulting Facebook. So again, I'd really just like the opportunity to talk to you about what you're doing, see if we can figure out what you're spending and what your pain points are and what you're looking to accomplish, as it relates to communicating and collaborating, and see if I can help your company out. So cloud communications, UCaaS, CCaaS, and SD-WAN. That's what we specialize in. Brookside Consulting. www.brooksidus.com.